Hi Dana, just looking at your rough draft here. So it does look like this image is in CMYK and the effective PPI is above 300. Maybe this was only one of the only photos that you could find that you could use at this size. I almost wonder if there isn't a better photo for the cover, but at the same time I know you're limited. But even if you just shrink it down a little bit to the bleed lines closer, you can get a little bit more sky, which I think is actually an improvement. Actually would be perfect if we could get this on the rule of thirds, which, and there is a workaround. I mean, we could just shrink this down around the actual image, and I do have, okay, and then I'm just gonna crop it to the bleed lines, and then Command C, Command V, and then just flip it. And then you can line them up, and then arrange to back. And that's one way of kind of working around that. And I think that looks better just with your text on that background, so now you can really read it. So I think that's working a little bit better like that on your front cover. Ungroup this. I would say just put this all on one line and maybe find a different text. I'm not sure if you do have paragraph styling, I think. Let's see. Okay, maybe you don't have any paragraph styles made yet. You definitely want to make some of those. I'm going to be checking for that. So you can add new paragraph styles. I think, let's see. Let's open window styles, paragraph styles. So you just have basic, Command Z, basic paragraph. So we can actually, what you need to do with the styles is you need to add new ones. So if this is your heading, let's just do this. Double click here to change the name. Sorry. Let's see, I'm screwing that up, sorry. I think it's this one. And then we can do heading, and then, you know, you have all of it, it'll make it the size and everything that you wanted. You can also do a preview here, which is nice if you need to do that. And then this could be your subhead, so this would be your subhead. So let's highlight, make a new one from that, name that subhead, and then push OK. This one didn't take, so I'm going to do it again. I just need to change the name to heading. Okay. And then this is probably your paragraph, your actual basic paragraph, which it looks like you have that styled, which is good. Yeah. Oops. Maybe it isn't styled. Let's just make a new one. So this one, body copy. You can even name it something completely different, body copy. And then this one can be deleted even. Actually, it won't let me delete it. Maybe it's just one that, and you have it like, you know, center aligned and everything, so and that's fine. That's good. And all of your text boxes hopefully are about the same size when we go through, and they should all line up, which it looks like they are pretty well lining up, and the same width, same height for the most part. Certain ones might not be. Looks like you have maybe a little bit more to do as far as bringing in headers. One thing too with this is if you're going to have these kind of going over, you might want to flip them to make, depending on how dark the photos are that you're using. And with this one, I'd almost bump it down just so we can see the skyline. And actually, maybe even having it line up with the skyline on this one is nice. I would almost say with this subheading text, I'm not sure if I really like the script. Might be able to find something, I don't know, maybe like this, Rocky. So this is alternate Gothic extra condensed ATF. It might, I think it might be Adobe font, but I like that better. Like, so let's change the subhead to alternate Gothic extra condensed. So, here it is. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh, why didn't it change all of them? Oh, I guess because these weren't highlighted, but we just have to go through and change those. And then this text, it is a serif font, which is fine, but there are some issues with the leading, and also like if this isn't fitting on one line, then you might need to like cut some text out. So like with this one, it's 406, so let's see here. Gorgeous hiking and snowmobile can recreate for free, others can purchase it from cheaper natural resource. Yeah, see, that's an issue. And one thing I would do maybe would be to cut some of the text out, but it's kind of hard to find. What to text, what to cut out. Maybe for more info. Maybe just take that out to get that on one line. This is its own thing too here. We might have to adjust the leading on some of these too, like the subhead text might need better leading. So we go in here, and if you have preview checked on, you can look at the leading and see what, that's doing the whole thing, that's weird. You might have to just go in and push return, I guess. That's better. This leading is messed up. We want all of the body copy to have the same leading. So if you just highlight all of this, you know, it's kind of laborious, but it will make them all the same at least. This looks like a mistake. You probably want to take those W's out. And so, yeah, I think that this could work. This script font, I'd say get rid of it. And this one's kind of this one's a bummer because it's not fitting on one line. So this might be a thing where you just delete one of those. People, if they want to bring a kayak, they can figure that out on their own. So some stuff you might have to cut out or be creative with how you're editing the text so that you can get it all to fit on one line. And you still have some room here. So, you know, obviously once you get your other headers in, you'll be able to see what works for you. And I would make this maybe like the same as the subhead and maybe all uppercase, you know, and maybe something like that. And you might want to try just having this go all the way across, and maybe even a different color than white. Maybe, let's see, what does it look like? Let me look at what it looks like. Let's see, this is grouped. Okay, I would almost move this down and maybe make it thicker. I don't know if there's a bold. And you might want to stick with whatever you brought in with your paragraph styles. Yeah, okay, that's the same one. Maybe since this is that, we could just make this the subhead and bigger. Or you can keep it the script just for the front page, potentially, if this doesn't look right. Maybe a little bit more space. Maybe lined up a little better with the E. Yeah, maybe this could be smaller. and maybe a little bit further away from the edge on both of these, just to give them a little bit more padding around the edges. About the same distance here as here, hopefully. You do have a white stroke on these and then not on the Montana. The Montana could be bigger, probably. Oops. If you push E on your keyboard and then Shift, you can make stuff bigger. I'll line it up with the E, I guess. And maybe put a white border on the Montana. Or a black one to make it thicker, depending on if there is a bold. Nope, there isn't. So, might have to just put a stroke of black on it, just to make it thicker. Probably not a point. You probably want it to be like 0.5 maybe, so that it's a little bolder for the front cover. Maybe something like that. And you could change the colors from black too. I mean, you could use a nice dark green color. You know, maybe something that matches the photo. I don't know. Just add a little bit more color to the front cover. Maybe like an Adobe color, or I don't know, something colorful. Actually, I kind of like that color. But anyway, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see your back cover. Okay, yeah, and whatever you do on the front cover, you can kind of match with the back cover. So if this line goes all the way across here, you could just continue this line onto the back cover, if that makes sense, so that you have some continuation between the front and back covers. And you might want to actually add like a line up here just for, oops, an extra detail. Of course, you don't want to ruin the horizon line, but you know, having some stripes. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna put those back. But having some stripes on here might be a nice detail that you can continue into the next, from the front to the back cover, although I'm not really liking that. But something to experiment with, to try and have something that you can continue from the front cover to the back cover to kind of make it more harmonious design wise. But I could see this being something that you could continue onto the back cover, which is good. So yeah, it's kind of got shifted. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I'm not sure, maybe you're putting the Beaver Creek Park map here. Definitely make sure to remember to put that in, and the Havre Chamber logo. So that the Havre Chamber logo, you know, a good spot to put that would probably be the back cover. You have 9 pages in your document. You can just delete it pretty easily. Maybe I accidentally added that somehow while I was showing you this, but anyway, just some suggestions. Someone's got shifted. I might have done that. Not sure why that's happening, but anyway, we'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend.